You wanna go on a walk? I'm going on a walk. Labels have always made me feel safe. It's my way of identifying who I am and figuring out what really matters to me. But there is a danger to this. Without noticing, I started to put myself in boxes. It meant that I was turning away from opportunities that didn't fit with my labels. Something that I've started to regret. This year, I decided to overthrow labels. I'm embracing the fact that I'm unique and ever-evolving human. We are more complex than any label. I am now free to be exactly who I am. I really started examining the labels that I have given myself this year and unpick them and kind of see, are they still serving me or actually are they quite restrictive? And I think there was an example this year. I was invited to an event in London. It was like a screening of a new wildlife documentary, the new David Attenborough one, Wild Owls, because I helped contribute to that as my job as a wildlife conservationist. So it's quite a cool invite, not something you do every day, but I remember when the email came in, I automatically dismissed it because I was like, no, I don't want to go to London, to a city with lots of people, go out in the evening. These are things that I don't typically do because I class myself as an introvert and someone that likes, quiet life in the country, not big city life. And yeah, and so I was like, oh no, I can't go. And then I reflected and I was like, actually, I think I would kick myself if I didn't go to this. This kind of invite doesn't come around very often. I think, yes, there'll be a lot of people, but there'll be my kind of people. I had a couple of colleagues going. Everyone in the room was interested and passionate about wildlife. Like, it was something that I think I would quite enjoy. So I did go and I did enjoy it. And I wrote about it on my Substack if you want to, I'll link it down below. It was quite cool. I was in the room with David Attenborough, and yeah, there were moments that I found difficult, as I predicted. There was a lot of small talk, and there was some moments where it got quite loud during the drinks reception, not in a rowdy way, just the acoustics of the room. So I had to go and have a bit of quiet moments. My feet hurt because I wore heels. I never wear heels. And when I got back to the hotel, I was really tired because it was way past my bedtime. So yeah, there were some challenges in there, but overall it was an enjoyable experience and something I remember. So that kind of triggered in my head, like, okay, hang on, I need to start thinking about like why I'm putting myself in these boxes. And some of it is obviously nervousness and anxiety. That's totally valid and totally fine, and I know I can work through that. But there's other things. It's like being a minimalist, you know. I'm always worried to call myself one, particularly on the internet, because I'm worried that people will start unpicking that and saying, oh, you're minimalist, but you have all these mugs, for instance. You know, it's like, who decides who's a minimalist? Like, what's really the criteria? Same with everything. Same with veganism, introvertism, highly sensitive person. You know, there's situations where, yeah, I'm an introvert and I would class myself as sensitive, but if I'm in the right situation with the right people, then I can be the absolute life of the party. You know, it's like, I evolve constantly. Every single day is different. Every single hour is different. I don't want to label myself anymore. I think there's value in labels to an extent. It's a way of helping you understand yourself, maybe. I know, particularly talking about being a highly sensitive person, something I discovered as a term that even existed last year. And I've talked about it on my channel, and a lot of you and in my Substack have said, actually, I had no idea that was a thing. That makes me feel so much better. You know, I'm not a weirdo. There are other people like me. So I think when it helps you understand yourself and find a community, that's great. But when it starts restricting me because I have all these rules, and I do have all these rules, and I start thinking about it, it's like, oh my God, I have so many layers of rules that I'm allowed to do or not do. And then some of the, you know, some lines I personally wouldn't cross. So I wouldn't eat meat or dairy now. Like, I can't see that happening. You never say never, but that is something that I'm like, okay, that's kind of hard and fast rule. And it's not a rule for the sake of it. It's not a rule so I can call myself a vegan. It's a rule for my own mental and physical health, especially, you know, mentally. I think I would struggle with that. But some of the other bits and stuff, like having more mugs as a minimalist, like that's something I'm happy with. You know, I'm very comfortable with the number of possessions I have, and I'm also allowing myself to explore with that, and some things I might want more of, some things I might want even less of. So yeah, I think labels have their place, but it's very, very easy to label yourself and others, and it can be quite restrictive and judgmental to do so. And I think we're always the hardest on ourselves. So I just thought it would be useful to chat a little bit about those things. And although I'll keep using these terms to kind of just explain the kind of lifestyle I enjoy living and who I am as a person, people are so much more than that. So much more. We can't ever sum that up with just a couple of words. At least that's what I think. But I'm curious to see what you guys think. So as always, please do comment below on your thoughts of labels and the usefulness of them or not so, and any examples you have in your own life. I'd love to read about it. But otherwise, I think that's it for me this week, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy this video, if you could please like and subscribe, that would really help my channel. And I will see you guys next time.